Hey guys, Darth Gloric here, back with part 2 of my Lucy Got Problems playthrough. Last time we met Lucy, this succubus demon, and she started down her crazy adventure to get the Orb of Fate. And turns out it's going to be a lot more complicated than she expected. She might be some sort of destined hero to save the world, possibly, or not. Who knows? Anyway, so the Orb of Fate is needed to protect this world. Who would have thought that the Darkest Priestess Tiamat cares about things like saving the world? Thanks to this quest, I learned something new about Tiamat every day. Well, technically only one day has passed, and I learned only one thing. But still, we're bonding. Maybe Tiamat flays insolent servants just for show? Hard on the outside, tender on the inside, like a chocolate fondant? Maybe that's fondue. Anyway, like chocolate fondue? I don't know. If I try very hard, I have a chance to reach the soft and sweet filling. Wait for me, O Darkest One. I won't let you down. Time to go find that thing the seer wants. Yeah, let's go see if we can find this thing. Oh, dear. Snack cheat mode on. Let's see. River or forest? I guess we'll go ahead and save it. Can I look back on previous dialogue? There we go. Okay, now she said something about the snail I need. Shady and moist. Okay, so shady and moist. So, I mean, I don't know which one. I mean, shady and moist, well, maybe river? I feel well hydrated already. Oh, okay, well. Not going back into the swamp. Magical forest depth. Okay, this is back at the other entrance, okay. Magical forest? What's that over there? I don't know. This place looks pretty calm. Oh, beautiful lady, don't leave me in distress. Me, a beautiful lady? That was a decent start, but no matter how much I looked around, I couldn't find who was addressing me. Oh? That? Who is it? I'm down here. Lower. Even lower. Now a bit to the right. Here, you're looking at me. I'm under the blackberry bush. It took several minutes before I got it. The voice was emanating from a violet mushroom with a crown atop its cap. What? Are you a mushroom? Oh, please don't say so. I still can't get used to my new shape. The mushroom pitifully whimpered. New shape? Do mushrooms change shape? I thought only butterflies do this. Whatever it is, you still look stunning and beautiful for a mushroom. And I like your voice a lot. But I'm not a mushroom. I'm an elven princess. If you insist. You don't believe me? The mushroom whimpered again. Actually, did I have any concrete grounds not to believe the mushroom? Of course, it's hard to suspect mushrooms being somehow related to the elven royalty, but this would explain the crown. After all, modern science still knows very little about elves. Please don't be upset. I believe you, your highness. Pardon me, I completely lost my composure. As royalty, I can't afford... Oh, fine, fine. I'm not crying, honestly, it's just the dew. It's okay, what do you need help with? With my shape. You see, there's an evil witch living in the forest. I refused her. She turned me into a... Boozletus? Me. Dekaria the Beautiful. Oh, woe is me. But if I can ask for this, an evil witch, I wonder if she means the seer. It's fine. Speak out. I'll do everything I can. If there would be a kind soul that would kiss me, I will become an elven maiden again. I've been trapped here for 10 years, desperately waiting for rescue. Kiss me, my fair lady, I beg you. In reward, I'll grant you half the kingdom and half a prince. What does that mean? My cousin Bazidio is a centaur. His lower half is a pure-blood riding horse. Please consider my offer. I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't really want to kiss this rando mushroom, but it's probably going to get me killed. But hey, fuck it, I guess. So, an enchanted elven princess proposes me a rich reward just for kissing her. It's the best quest of my life. No worries, your majesty. Kissing a beautiful princess is a reward in and of itself. So you agree? Oh, I can't believe it. I'm so happy. Kiss me, please, kiss me. I swear I'm falling in love with you deeper and deeper with every word. I approached my enchanted princess and kneeled beside her. To be honest, I never had to kiss mushrooms yet. How do you do it? Should you just take the cap in your mouth? No, but so many questions. What is it? Why are you hesitating? Oh, my stem is shaking. Do you want me to faint here? Kiss me now. I'm on it. I bent over and quickly smooshed her cap. It was moist and a bit slimy, but I believe I did well. Did it work? I licked the slime off my lips and immediately felt dizzy. Yeah, no shit. Oh, yes, it works. How good it works. Oh, God. I told you this was a stupid thing to do. The trees and the bushes suddenly lost their shapeness and floated away. I barely stood upright on my unsteady feet. What? What is up with me? Cap venom poisoning, sweetheart. Yeah, I know, that didn't go well. Oh, no, it's too early to leave. We've only just begun. Ground under my feet shivered and cracked up. Something firmly grasped my legs and started entangling my whole body. How can anyone be this stupid, huh? Two-stemmed are so primitive. And so tasty. I wish I could roast you with onions, but I've been waiting for dinner for too long. Oh, God. I told you that was gonna go poorly, and then she really ate me. Fresh, without onions, with skin and bones. Wait, this means I'm a ghost? Tiamat's like, what the fuck? You got eaten by a mushroom? What a substantives. What a crazy tale. I have no idea what that word is. What are we spending our mana for? That's why I doubted if we should summon her or not. The priestess quickly sighs, either tired or disappointed, and traces some lines with her hand. In front of her, a unsummoning spirit seal flashes in a pale violet fire. Will she banish me back to the astral plane? No, please, I can... She's like, fuck you. You're an idiot. The last thing I see is Tiamat's face, uncaring and beautiful as always. That's fair. Mushroom kisser. Never kiss unfamiliar mushrooms. I know, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Can we just go ahead and do this? No. If this mushroom's evil witch is really the seer, I'd better not meddle in her business. After all, who would win if there were two enchanted Boozelte instead of one? The Orb of Fate won't obtain itself. I better go. I just remembered I have very important world-saving business to attend to. Have a nice day. I never liked to reject women, even if they are mushrooms. To avoid uncomfortable chatter, I proceeded to hide in the bushes. Yeah. This looks pretty calm. Oh, this is where I got warped when I got here. Yeah, I know, I'm having a real hard time finding where I am supposed to be going. I think I forgot the way. Yeah, no shit. Wait, am I supposed to be clicking on something? Is that what this whole shindig is? Oh my god, I am. I'm supposed to be clicking on things. It's not just here for the memes like an idiot. There's something else here. So there is a snail there. And it said dark and damp, right? Like kind of like damp-ish. This disgusting creature resembles something familiar and also looks dry as hell. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Alright, hang on a minute. Seer, okay. Let's see. Okay, our shady and moist corner. Like shady and moist corners. Okay, what do they look like? Like spotted, supposedly. Okay. So it's shady, moist corners, and supposedly spotted. I don't think that's it. Ooh, I think I might have found it. Wow, what a cute little buddy. It's all moist and slimy. Guess it's time to go back. Back already? Let's see what you got. Well, not the best specimen, but overall it'll do. Does it mean I passed my heroic trial? Looks like you did. And what happens next? Next we'll drink some tea. Hooray, tea! Hey, wait a minute. You promised to give me the Orb of Fate after I passed the trial. With a chocolate cake? Hooray, cake! Oh, no way. You can't just give me the cake instead of the Orb of Fate. Yet, my tummy had a different opinion. It made a long and mournful sound as if it became home to a very sad wail. Now that I think about it, a big piece of chocolate cake will be a passable temporary substitute. But it's just for now. Don't even think of cheating me. I wasn't going to. The thing is, we need to pass some time. You see, expunging the Orb of Fate is a very complicated magical ritual. Magic of this level is passable only in certain conditions. Our task is to wait for these conditions to occur. I don't understand. You said you have the Orb of Fate. Exactly, I have it. To be precise, it is a part of me, but just for the time being. What? It's pretty simple. The Orb of Fate merges with its owner's astral body. That means currently the orb is bound to my spirit. Stitched to it, if you will. To break the link between me and the orb, we need the right setup, as I have already said. And what that setup is? Legend says that the Orb of Fate are made of starlight. We need to wait until the first star shines in the skies. Your orb was made from the light of that star. The evening star shines just for a couple of hours, but at that point, the orb's power is at its peak. To cut it short, we're waiting for dusk. I guess we have about half an hour. Half an hour, but it's still afternoon. This place is called the Cave of Relativity. Thanks to the cave's properties, I can manipulate time, but can't ignore it altogether. Besides, it's dangerous to speed up time too hard, if it can have unpleasant consequences. The seer clapped her hands. The same moment, a huge pile of pillows grew in front of us, together with a short leg table and a tea set. And what's more important, a marvelous chocolate cake decorated with fresh strawberries. What? Let's go. Cake? Okay, 3 pieces of cake later, I noticed that one remaining thought had concerning the dinner kept nagging me. I've been thinking, you mentioned orbs of fate? Like more than one? The seer was done with the tea and started smoking her long pipe. Exactly. In ancient times, when the spirits still lived among other folks, there were many of these artifacts. Someone should keep order in the world, and elves have a, so to say, natural talent for it. On this plane of being, no one had yet invented anything better than elven housemaids. And so my ancestors had created a multitude of orbs of fate, and gave them to the elves so that they would look after the world. Your ancestors? So you truly are a spirit? Hoot. I don't know what that's supposed to be. You have a problem with that? Not at all. I just thought spirits can't be so, materialized. Well, I take regular workouts. Besides, I never thought these spirits, reproduce. Why no one bats an eye when the gods do it? Oh man, I said something awkward again. Time to change topic. So it turns out, in the past, the orbs were not such a rarity. How come there's almost none left? The orbs of fate bestow their wielder with great power. At first, the elves were using this power for good, but ages went by and the world changed. Gradually, the clan's power started being measured by the number of keepers, elves able to use the orbs. Some of the orbs were destroyed by my kin when they decided that the gift turned into a curse. Some were destroyed by the elves themselves. Attempts to weaken a rival clan, analyze, or steal the power of the orb, destroying an artifact is much easier than creating one. And why don't you make some new orbs and don't give some to reliable elves or demons? That would be handy if we're all in danger of an apocalypse. The technology is long lost. At the moment, I'm trying to at least figure out how the artifact works. Is that so? And how did this orb get in your hands? Previously, it belonged to the keeper of this forest. Oh, did the keeper also use the orb for her own benefit, so you decided to take it from her? It's the opposite. When Laura felt that the forest was changing for the worse, she was afraid of the failure. She decided to give her orb to me so it wouldn't bring harm to the forest. I tried to persuade her, but she wouldn't listen. Honestly, I was surprised and impressed. I couldn't foresee that Laura could be so determined. Maybe I never really looked into her that much. So the keeper gave up on her power right when her life was at stake? Just to save the forest? Hoot. I don't know what, I mean, she did say that she, might be a ferret or an owl or something, I guess maybe that's what that's supposed to mean? Anyway, Lara was never concerned with her own spirit. Poor, foolish child of light. She tried to be a good keeper, did everything to make her family proud of her, but it's impossible to please everyone, especially if we're talking about a family of elven nobility. Lara didn't understand that. The more effort she exerted, the higher grew the expectations. She had a talent for magic, so her fate was decided since childhood. She studied a lot and then worked hard to hone her gift, and all that to find herself in the foreign woods far from home. When I was looking at Lara, all I saw was loneliness. Wait, didn't your ancestors give the orbs to elves? Sounds as if you feel sorry for Lara. Why didn't you allow her to cheer up and make friends? My ancestors gave elves the orbs of fate, that's correct, but all your rituals and taboos around them are elven's own invention. Sometimes it is easier to postpone the end of the world than to fight tradition. Lara was trapped in a cage made of others' expectations. No surprise that the hollow reached her. The hollow reached her? What hollow? Even I don't know what that thing is, not yet. But I do know how it works. The hollow finds a feeling that's torment in the soul and turns it into a kind of vortex. Positive thoughts, dreams, and aspirations possess power akin to that of magic. The hollow sucks this power out until there's nothing left of the soul. In some cases, if the soul is strong enough, its shell lingers on in some sense. The shell becomes a reaper of the hollow. Elves call themselves the Hollow Ones. It starts seeking prey. Is that what happened to Lara? Maybe. Lara had a bright magical aura, but I no longer feel it in this forest. And where does all the energy go? Good question. And we'll have to find the answer for it. All I know is that the worlds are whisked out and that someone or something is behind it. The worlds disappear? So this problem doesn't concern this world alone? If nothing stops it from spreading, in time the hollow will consume everything, including all known sources of vanilla ice cream. Such barbarism! I can't allow it! We must fight this hollow. Let it crawl back whence it came and stay away from my ice cream. That's the spirit. And just in time, I believe it's already dusk. Let's get moving. Seer? Hoot? I have one more question. A serious question, a kind of a dumb question. Why are you wearing sunglasses? I'm a little tempted. Why are you wearing sunglasses? Why are you wearing sunglasses? It's pretty dark here already. I have to wear them because of my clairvoyance. The future is too bright. Well, there you go. Okay, that was my question. When we found ourselves in a forest, the sun was really setting. Oh my. I thought this grove always looked the same. That is, it looks so blue during the day. Of course it doesn't. There's a bit more magic and glowing mushrooms here, but otherwise it's just an ordinary forest. At night it's dark, during the day it's bright, and after the rain it's wet. Of course, because of the wild magic, it's easier to get lost here, but it's not a problem if you know how to find the right path. By the way, we've arrived. Following the seer, I entered a round clearing that ended in an abrupt drop. The trees stepped aside before us as if to remain behind an invisible border. Below us, the valley was hidden in a hazy mist, and above us stood the tall red sky. Do you see it? Over there. Is that my star? I mean, the Orb of Fate star? Yep, one and only. Let's hurry while it's still up. Yeah, what do I do? Try not to faint. Why would I faint anyway? Well, a ritual of stellar magic can attract an ancient cosmic horror. What kind of ancient horror? The unknowable one. The unknowable cosmic horror. Ah! She's like, oh my god! The Seer's fingers arrange in several complex signs. At the same moment, three bright sparks flash in her palm. One after another, they soar into the skies and burst into tiny golden starlets. Meanwhile, the Seer was drawing new symbols in the air. What are you doing? Tuning an array of magical barriers. Will it save us from an ancient horror from outer space? Among other things. Although it's more probable that the burst of magic will attract something from the forest. For example, those who were touched by the hollow, they were drawn to the energy of any kind. Couldn't we carry this ritual out right in your cave? I start missing darkness, moisture, and undefined position in space. We can only conduct this ritual in the open air, as there's no avoiding danger. But whatever happens, my berries will provide 100% protection. That's comforting, but I don't know, man. While we were talking, thanks to the Seer's efforts, a transparent golden dome made out of tiny stars appeared above us. The Seer approached the dome's edge and was carefully touched it with her clawed finger. Whirls of weightless sparkles spread over the surface with a quiet jingle. Looks like the barriers are ready. Now look closely. The special effects are about to begin. The Seer raised her face to the sky and froze. I couldn't see her eyes because of the dark glasses, but she must have looked at the star. A sharp gust of wind made me shudder. Is the storm coming? But like before, the tree crowns behind us are almost motionless. The leaves and the petals peacefully lying on the grass started rising into the air. Then I realized what a small maelstrom was gathering around the Seer. From condition to condition, from pole to pole, from vibration to vibration. As above, so do below. As below, so do above. Shine again, great soul of the prime star. Ah, fancy. Oh man. Kai belong to the stellar mind. Fancy magic. For a moment, I drowned in a torrent of golden starlight. When I could see again, the Seer stood right in front of me, so close I could hear her breath on my lips. And she was beautiful. Her hair was flowing in the wind that I couldn't feel. Her skin was glowing gold. Her lips clung to mine. Oh my god. What's gonna happen right now? Oh shit. I actually think I can show that. I think I might be able to show that. I felt her hot tongue with mine and answered the kiss. Heat poured all over my body in pulsating golden waves. I became light like one of the sparkles dancing in the air. This kiss filled me with something greater than desire. Infinite love for the Seer. Infinite love for the world and everyone in it. Infinite power. Wow, that was cool. When the Seer moved away from me, I barely could stay upright. After everything that happened to me, it was strange to feel myself a demon of flesh and blood again. It was strange to discover I had knees that suddenly got so weak. The kiss was over, but I still was overwhelmed by the unspeakable happiness. Seer. The Seer smiled to me. She tenderly stroked my cheek with her hand and then said, "Hi there, Lara." What? The fuck's happening? You have a party, and you haven't invited me. It's not something you'd expect from an old friend. You seriously upset me, Farrell. This young woman, I remembered her. That's who tried to kill me in the swamp. Oh, I wondered if that was her. But at the time, she seemed absolutely insane. I didn't even consider her a girl, it was just a monster. Now she was acting pretty normal, but her face was there was still something odd about it. I knew you would come, but I knew you wouldn't miss a chance to stick out your talents. Clairvoyance is a rare gift, isn't it? It's very nice to have such a talent. It makes you feel special, allows you to forget that otherwise you mean nothing at all. Or did you try to boast your intelligence? Intelligence that's not enough to prevent the inevitable. Intelligence that literally led you to deal with the devil. My, oh my, you must be desperate. How blind are you, seer, if you can't see that who you've fallen in with? Your ward is useless, your time is up. Those who held dear are long gone from this world. You are the last autumn leaf frantically clinging to the dry branch. Winter has come, Farrell, let it go. Try to convince me then. If you want to take the upper hand, you'll have to work hard, Lara. Oh, with great pleasure. I was never afraid of hard work. But, what's with the tone? This isn't how you talk to your friends. Maybe, but I don't know you. How come? Your memory betrays you? It's no surprise considering your age, but I'm still curious. Lara knew me, that's true, but she wouldn't call me her friend. She was a lonely, introverted girl. You may have her memories, but you're too bad at playing the role. What are you? We are dead, and through that we live on. We are torn, and through that we are bonded. We are hollow, and through that we are fulfilled. Now we will take back what belongs to us. Well, whatever you are, at least you've got some class. Dusk is a time when light and darkness collide. Very symbolic. Now, let's find out if you have the power to back up your claims. Would be a shame if the only thing you're good at is speaking of yourself in plural. Lara didn't move an inch, but something was happening to the shadows behind her. Unclear shapes were lurking among the trees. They stretched and compressed, flowed into one another, shook, and solidified. That's bad. Seer, what do I do? Do as you were told and don't faint. And don't even try to meddle. The ritual consumes a lot of stamina. I'll handle this myself. But I am... Suddenly, oh shit, suddenly Lara lunged forward. It didn't look like the girl jumped, more like her body raised mid-air, and then some unknown force tossed her towards the barrier. Forest shadows stretched behind her like a myriad black cable threads. God, burns, it burns, it burns! The protective dome flared up, first in gold, then in pulsing red. But this time, disturbed sparkles didn't spread out. They rushed at their prey like hornets from a stirred-up nest. Forgot to tell you about the barriers. I hope you liked them. Gah! Now, this is how provocation works. Sit comfortably, Lucy, and watch this lady get fried on. Gah! At first, it seemed to me like it was the barrier that didn't let the girl's body fall down, but then it became obvious that she herself didn't want to retreat, or rather, something inside her didn't want her to retreat. Shadows crawled forward from behind Lara's back and tangled into something akin to spider legs. Her face was distorted in pain, but she kept struggling. No, I wasn't too hasty with my judgment. Rah! The tendrils of Shadow curled into spirals and now resembled huge drills. And you're tougher than I expected. Drill legs chewed into the barrier's surface. Ding, ding, ding. The stars gave their final burst and fell with the painful ring of shattered glass. You told me the barriers will protect us 100%. The heaven is this. Statistical aberration. Evade. I'm gonna go with stay in place. Dodge? Which direction? I froze in place trying to guess. Oh, fuck. But obviously scripted. They're all the same. Tiamat's like, what the hell? So that's how it all happened? Learning the details of your own demise from yourself was pretty strange. If I remember correctly what strange means. Too little useful information. I told you, we can't send this idiot on a mission without the escort. Now we need to find a replacement with fitting properties. I feel like we've seen this one already. Yeah. I was about to say. Bad end. You die a horrible death in your moment of glory. Thank you. That's me. I don't know what the point of the last save choice is. I can't do anything. I suspect that there was a lot of things to grab. That's my first thought. There was a lot of things to grab. Like there was like flowers and all kinds of shit, and I didn't grab any of that. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're back. I just picked a random flower because there's like several random flowers, and I assume that this has something to do with that. I see you're back, and you came not empty-handed. Unfortunately, that's not the item I sent you for. Congratulations, you failed your trial. See you again sometime. The Seer's Cave spat me out onto the clearing again, but this time for good. The magical door vanished as if I was never there in the first place. I wondered if the forest had... I wandered the forest for some more days, but I didn't manage to find the Seer once more. Why would she say she'd see me again then? Hey, Tiamat. That was pathetic. The darkest priestess lazily claps her hands. A pair of servants immediately take a step forward. Feed her to the astral squids. Alive. What? No! The servants grab me by the shoulders. I try to escape, but to no avail. I'm being dragged to the corner of the tent, to a tall, flat item covered with cloth. One of the servants pulls the edge of the curtain and it slips down on the carpet. Now I see something akin to a mirror in front of me, but instead of a glass, it has a vortex glimmering with violent flashes of lightning. You can't do this to me! Just give me one more cha! Yeah. Not good. Oh no, the astral squids! Lovecraft was right. Sometimes you eat a squid, sometimes the squid eats you. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so that wasn't it. Okay, so we're back. So, I feel like I locked myself into a bad ending there. I don't know what I did, but I tried everything. I went around lots of sections of all the forest. I feel like I clicked on a lot. I know I clicked on a lot of things. Everything I brought... the Seer locks me into that bad ending. And I think I showed one of the attempts of what happens, but everything goes white. Tiamat just kills you. She, like, sacrifices you and sends you back to the astral plane. It's apparently a very brutal way to die. And that's what happens. So... it's not good. And so I had to start over. Now, luckily with the handy dandy skip feature, things are easy. Initially, I wasn't going to show all of this. And so I started mashing my way through. I went back to the guide that I found initially, the one that's walking you through all the achievements. I'm not trying to get all the achievements. I'm just trying to get to a satisfying ending. And so for the most part, I'm at the point now where I'm going to try and sort of follow it. So I'm kind of using a guide now. And so I mashed, like, I was like a 3 choices past this screen, and I was like, okay, there's a lot of new stuff here. I have to show this, like, because if I cut back in, the last thing they're gonna see is me getting stuck on that bad ending, and then then suddenly we're in a whole new place, all new stuff happened. I'm like, that's gonna make no sense. And so the world we live in is now I have to show all this. So I was like, okay, so I just started over, went back to this choice, and I'm gonna follow the guide with on camera, because if I do it off camera, it's gonna make no sense for you people. So we are back to this choice. Now I feel like I maybe initially might have said stay put, but the guide says to get away immediately. So we'll just see. Who knows what might be rustling over there? I didn't have the desire to find out in person. I slipped into the shadows. Stealth mode. As soon as my suit blended into with the leaves, I tried my best to get far enough to feel safe again. So I think I might have said stay put the first time. Let's think of the elves. What do I know about them? I racked my brain again, but the only thing I remembered is how boring the lectures about elves were. Mind-numbingly boring. Who in the hell had the brilliant idea to make a demon of gloom a military instructor? My memories clumped together like old toffees, but it was obvious I'll sooner break my jaw than shoot my way into any useful info. It's useless. Do I really remember nothing at all? Oh, right! I started poking around in my hidden dimensional pockets and finally got lucky. Gotcha. In my hand, I was holding a thick brochure. According to the title on the cover, it was... Ah, so pretty. The most complete abridged guide to elven lands in the almost upper world. That's exactly what I need. Probably. If I'm not mistaken, it used to have way fewer pages. I usually don't read anything thicker than issues of Magical Miladies, and they are, well, thick in another way. And it's mostly pictures. There seem to be drawings in this one too, but also a ton of text in terribly small font. And the strangest thing is, some part of me wanted to read it? What's gotten into me? Yeah, what could it be? This thing scares and attracts me at the same time. Is this what they call something in French, maybe? I don't know. Okay, so now with this, we're gonna save it, but I got past this choice too. And you're supposed to say accept the inevitable. I started flipping through the pages looking for relevant data. It would be better there. To be honest, I had no idea what might be inside the brochure. Not that I was planning to take it with me at all. I just had conveniently turned up in the barracks. I don't even remember whose locker I swiped it from. It's like taking soap and towels from a hotel room. Everyone does it, right? That's awful. And no, not everybody does it. I don't. Anyway, besides, that totally looked like a book of lewd verses about the children of light. Yes, the half-naked elf lass on the cover deceived me. Who knew it would be a travel guide? And who would have known it might turn out more useful? Yeah, what a whole bunch of twists. Firstly, the booklet informed why the place right above the Netherrealm was called the Almost Upper World. As the Age of Triumph dawned, Legion had just conquered the Netherrealm. Our scholar mages did not yet figure out the local cosmology, so everything above the ground was called the Upper World. Then they discovered that above the Upper World there was an even uppier one, inhabited by gods, angels, archangels, archangels, and even avian snobs. That's how the Upper World became the Almost Upper One, and the scholar mages were fed to astral squids. This episode is mentioned in the Chronicles of the Legion of the Great Reform of the Scientific Method. I have no idea what that even means. New scholar mages were quickly hired via ads in an evening paper, so no one really missed the old ones. Seems like I've heard this story told in dozens of different ways, especially the part with the astral squids. Next up was a short side box about the banishment of Dark Elves from the Netherrealm. Power and ferocity of the Dark Elves were great, but their armor was lacking. Armored panties have outstanding ventilation, but when it comes to serious skirmish, their defenses is kinda meh. Decent ventilation is also highly valued in the Legion of Darkness, but half of our kind has skins harder than stone, and other half feels comfortable in hellish flames. Can't say the same thing about the Dark Elves, though. And the Netherrealm is still on fire, especially the former Elven capital, where the stores of alchemist fire used to be. That was a great victory for the Legion. One day I'll settle down, buy a tower overlooking the burning ruins of the old world, and get a couple of pet fire elementals. I flipped through the guide looking for something more useful. 4 pictures of elven maidens later, I stumbled upon a list of known facts about elves. Right next there was a test titled, "Will you meet the elves right where you stand?" Perfect! As if the guide was specifically tailored to my needs. I cleared my throat and started reading out loud. Fact 1. The High Elves inhabit boreal and temperate forests. Well, this hodgepodge of trees is definitely called a forest, so it's a check. According to the table, my chances of meeting elves were increased by 20%. Not bad. Fact 2. Elves may often be encountered in the deepest woods where they commune with nature. As far as I can tell, I'm in the very depth of woods away from civilization and a chance to have a proper dinner. But my scouting sense tells me it could be even worse. I wonder if I can get bonus points for feeling bad enough even here. Fact 3. The elves adore frolicking in the moonlight. Oh wow, I would watch that. I even tolerate being in the deepest of woods if it's not for too long. Unfortunately, the test didn't say how long it usually takes. Moonlight gave 15 additional points, but there was still golden sunlight pushing its way through the canopy of leaves above my head. Oh, I'm screwed. I won't get to see frolicking elves in the next... How long is it till dusk? Fact 4. Elves can often be encountered around bodies of water where they abulate themselves? Abulate themselves? As in bathe? Oh, darkest lords, who is composing these texts? That mind-numbing language seemed awfully familiar. I turned the booklet around to find some info about the author. What? It can't be. Oh, yes, it can. This guide was written by my old theory instructor. Yes, that one. I clearly remembered a disgusting smile he had, promising to use by any means possible to shove knowledge into our heads, whether we wanted it or not. Had he put a curse on the handouts? I cast a worried glance at the guide. The half-naked elf chick on the cover was smiling exactly like the teacher. Stop stalking me, you heinous old imp! I barely overcame the desire to throw the guide as far into the bushes as possible. Oh, you. Well, so be it. This time I actually need that blasted knowledge. I must get a hold of myself and at least finish the test. I'm strong. I can make it. Suddenly I'm all congested. I don't know what the hell happened. Fact 5. Elves possess outstanding skills in camouflage, especially in overgrown terrain. They also excel in various martial arts, and take no prisoners. I gulped. Honestly, the take no prisoners part made me worry. The news about martial arts was unsettling too. Of course, I'm able to defend myself if there is a sharp necessity, but I'd still prefer sharp necessities to be somewhere further away from me, like other sharp items. So, fact 5 is either minus 50% chance to meet elves or plus 50, but you would not like it? Really makes you think. Looks like that's it. Time to sum up my chances. So it's 20 plus minus 5. What? The test said my chances of finding elves were either 0 or 100%? So it's either will definitely meet them or no way I will and I'd better not even try? What am I supposed to do then? That's so fucking funny. Okay, so this is another choice I made it past already. You're supposed to say, look in deep woods. I mean, so far, I mean, right? Because, like, the guy, part of the guide that I'm on is just talking about a ending. It was the first ending that wasn't labeled bad. And so I'm assuming this is one of the, we're on our way towards one of the good endings. I believe there might be 2 or something. So that's more or less what there might be 3, actually. I don't know. Anyway, we're on our way towards one of them. So I don't even know which one it is. Anyway, I need to get a grip. Otherwise, I'll become a demon of gloom myself. Yikes. I shook my head to chase away any stupid thoughts. How about no? I refuse to accept defeat. I just need a little bit of motivation. A motivational speech. I expressively cleared my throat. Giving up is not an option, even if the odds are stacked against us. The only way to get out of the rough patch is to keep pushing on, no matter what. The only one who surrenders is the one who denies themselves the slightest chance of victory. It reminds me of that time in the 57th. Yeah, right. Operation Black Forest Cake. Yeah, I saw all this too, by the way. I was button mashing. I was skimming it. I was basically reading it. It was impossibly huge, that cake. One look at it could cause your jaw to dislocate. Then I managed to eat around 2/3 of it. I started losing wind. It seemed that I would neither see my friends nor the bottom of the plate ever again. And what did I do then? I asked myself, am I ready to sacrifice everything I had already achieved? Am I ready to abandon my goal while it's close like never before? No and no. That's why I mustered my will and continued chipping at it, one small spoon after another. I didn't stop then, and I won't stop now. That's so funny. If elves can't decide whether they want to come to me or not, I'm coming to them instead. I felt fighting spirit coming back to me, and I straightened my back so vigorously that my breast bounced up to my chin. Eventually, they will be covered in medals, a whole bunch of medals. I'm just gonna pause here to give me a moment to edit. There we go. Make sure I edit that out. Possibly nothing but medals. High ranks can choose their own uniform, right? Anyway, but seriously. So thanks to the brochure, I had some good clues. Thicket, moonlight, and water. I'll take the first option since it's the first one. If I don't have any luck finding a thicket, maybe I'll stumble upon some lake or river. So, a thicket is a place with a lot of forest, right? It means I need to go in the direction where the plants grow the thickest. Like here. So we're on our way. So we're very close to where I got to, but we have a little more to go. I boldly stepped into overgrown depths of an unknown bush. It turned out dense and even spiky in some places, but that couldn't stop me. I definitely pushed on, dodging various branches and sharp twigs most of the time. Ow! An expressive crack of fabric meant that my costume just got redesigned. Well, I always thought it didn't expose enough skin. I moved deeper and deeper, but the bushes didn't end. They seemed even denser. Looking back, I realized that I didn't leave a path behind. No broken twigs, no crumpled leaves. Even the pieces of my clothes were nowhere to be found, although my suit looked noticeably damaged. Let's go? I still don't have to edit anything? Let's go? Is this some kind of special forest magic? A maze of endless bushes, luring travelers to their doom to entertain the cruel gods of nature? Oi, oi, I didn't consent to this! Life of a scout is full of danger and hardships, of course, but dying in some bush is a bit too much. In this case, I didn't even count on getting an obelisk with a commemorative epitaph. Actually, I'm not ready to die at all. I'm still so young and beautiful, and there are still so many things I haven't bought. So about here is where I got. I think that I'm still beautiful still. Like that line was where I stopped. Because it was like here, I'm like, okay, this is like a whole new arc. Like, you know, they're gonna have no idea. And then that's when I, you know, just went back and then started all of this recording. So, I think, so now we're in actual new territory for me. A personal tower with a palisade appeared in my imagination again. For some reason, I decided it would be cool to paint the fence white. I gotta get out of here at any cost. I frantically flung my hands, pushing on further and further. It felt kind of like brass swimming, only instead of water. I was floating in a thick mass of leaves that the bushes turned into. The striking similarity was even closer because the more I moved, the harder it was to breathe. A bit, more. Verdant torrents of leaves blasted me again and again from every side, threatening to engulf and crush me in their deadly embrace. I started suffocating. Alright, now we have to look at my guide. Okay, we have to push on. The green mass was pressing me from all sides. I felt like a ripe fruit in hands of a street merchant. Press a tad harder and juice would spray out. I gotta move on. Every step was harder than the previous one, and yet I persisted. Sometimes it seemed like my wriggling in place and I'll just die tired. Then so be it. If I'm destined to perish, lost in a bush, at least I'll be a fighter till the end, as fearless of bushes and death as she was in life. This at least counts as a decent elegy. It's a pity that there's no one to witness how brave I am till the bitter end. Oh. Well, next time, when I decide to honorably perish, I should take a bard along. A small one, so that he doesn't munch all the supplies herself. So that she doesn't munch all the supplies herself. I made another step. And suddenly, the bushes leaped up and the ground disappeared under my feet. I was in free fall. That's it. That's how my story ends. I can't even meet my fate standing like a real warrior. I flew out of the bush nose first. Of course, I couldn't hold my balance. I tumbled through the high but soft grass and stopped lying flat on the warm ground. My mouth filled with local vegetation, and it didn't taste great. But even this couldn't sour my mood. Finally, nothing was pressing me. Let's go? Hey, I found a beach. That's like a camera. Sun was gently heating my back, spreading warmth over my whole body in pleasant waves. Is this a reward for all my hardships? I clasped my hands in front of me, but put my cheek upon them and blissfully stretched several times without even opening my eyes. Dream, I just noticed it said dream up top. The smell of hot leaves, herbs, and weak scent of flowers mixed to create a harmonious symphony. Shows she's not on the beach. I raised my weary legs and lazily waved them in the air. Would be great to have a refreshing cocktail and a massage with coconut oil here. I think I found the best resort in the forest. It's honestly surprising there are bushes like this around it. How did they not get trampled by all the potential tourists? Maybe there are no elves in this forest at all, if there are none in here. I mean, they are nature lovers and all. I don't think you're on the beach. Nope. Hey-o. There's the cover art. I slightly opened my eyes to make sure that a nearby plume of grass didn't hide a pair of elf chicks. Wow. Oh. Some beautiful red. Look at that. That's cool looking. It was like a wonderful dream. A small clearing sprawled right in front of me, colored ruby red with flowers. My whole body still demanded a rest, but I instantly sprung back on my feet. My favorite color! How stunningly amazing they are. A gust of wind brushed the field like a shimmering crimson wave, twirling the petals in a mysterious dance and whisking them up and away. Wow, I need a wreath of these things. Or maybe she's excited, like, what? I need a wreath of these things. Or something like that, I don't know. Delicate buds looked akin to wings of tiny fairies. I felt a bit guilty to pick them, but I couldn't resist those wonderful flowers. The bouquet in my hands grew bigger and bigger. I already picked a whole bunch, and the clearing still looked as if not a single flower was lost. Instead of a simple wreath, I can get a whole crown. And what an aroma they have. I dug my face into the bouquet and took a deep, heartfelt breath. That smell filled me with surprising tranquility. Maybe this wonderful scent is what makes this place so special. Pity I'm so tired. It was such a long and hard day. So hard, exhausting, tedious. Oh god. These flowers are probably enchanted. I wearily rubbed my eyes, but fighting the sleepiness got harder and harder. I barely kept standing upright. Why did I even bother standing? Uh-oh. I'm passing out. Are they poppies by any chance? All that soft grass around me was eagerly waiting for someone to plop in. It would be fine if I just sleep a bit, right? Maybe just a tad. Oh no, we're blacking out. Ooh, everything got real creepy. Really cool looking. Red petals poured into the sky, and the sky itself slowly became red. Could it even be like that? The clouds, the grass, the clouds, the leaves, the flowers in my hands got blurry, caught in a wonderful dance like the petals in the wind, like crimson wings of the fairies. I'm blocking out. I wanted to dance with them too, but fatigue overwhelmed me. The field shuddered as if alive and flashed red for the last time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Emptiness. Something important inside me is missing. It's not there from the very beginning. Am I the void myself? No, that's not it. I am a vessel. Uh-oh. Did I die? My body is adrift in the void. It's black and viscous, maybe? Like a thick shadow. If I stay in this place for too long, the void will consume me. Now the void is changing. I feel delicate strokes of the unseen silent waves. Gradually, I notice how the darkness is colored by pale stains of red. Uh-oh. The stains multiply, merge together, become more saturated. Now they're throbbing, living, like a poppy field. Oh, they are poppies! I look at that! Called it. Yeah, I've seen Wizard of Oz. Are you sure these ropes are not too tight? I think you might have overdone it a little, maybe. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. One more instance like this and I'll file a report to the elders. Just a single more case, you understand? You can't be a guardian if you worry so much about the elves of our kin. Oh, I think this is Huey and Dewey. We have no reasons to pity these creatures. Look at what they've done to the forest. We've already lost Lara. Does it mean nothing to you? Not at all. Then what? It's hard for me not to pity them. They're living creatures too. And they just look like, and they're so much like us, it appears. Oh, really? Then why don't I see horns on your head? Or maybe you grew a tail last night. I wonder how did you manage to hide it in your uniform? But huh? Shush, she's awake. My body was numb and, besides, annoyingly tingled. My poor head was humming like it was banged by a ladle. Oh, I don't pick flowers on unfamiliar fields ever again. With a quiet moan, I tried to open my eyes. I think this is yeah. Yep, it sure is. I almost succeeded and almost immediately regretted it. The sunlight was too damn bright and the elf chicks too upside down. And besides, I was thoroughly tied up. What's going on? Wait a second. I can open my eyes, like both eyes? What did you do with my snack, you leaf-eared trash? Bitchy elf. It's because I don't know who they are yet, because I think in this quote-unquote timeline, I didn't ever ambush them or tie her up or anything, so I don't know who they are yet. She likely means that weird device we took off her face. I knew that thing was important. Excuse us, please, but according to the instructions, we must confiscate suspicious possessions from our fugitives. You know, just in case it turns out to be some terrible weapon. But rest assured, your item is fine. We just put it in our chat. Ellie! Ow! The other elf girl that apparently had a higher rank forcefully elbowed her partner. I mean, I wanted to say, you don't deserve an answer, heinous scammer. Oi, that's rude, you know. Scammer? It depends on the perspective. For now, it's you who have snatched something I own, while I didn't do anything bad to you, by the way. Or did I? I searched my memory looking for my past sins. Could these poppies be involved? Could those poppies be involved? Pff, what's the problem that's from picking a couple of flowers? And it's either this or the fact that I was snooping around, being an agent of a hostile military force. Can't be sure of anything with these elves. If it's the flowers you're so upset about, I'm sorry. I realize that it's a wonderful creation of Mother Nature and all, but they were way too beautiful. I'll be more careful next time, I promise. There's no reason for us to quarrel, right? No reason to quarrel, you say? Ha! You think you're bold enough to spew such nonsense after what you monsters did to our forest? But don't bother about the poppies. They're just a magical trap for idiots. And as you can see, it worked flawlessly. Of course I should have guessed. It was too damn strange to find such a beautiful field in such an awful forest. So what have we done again? It's my first time ever in this forest. You are probably confusing me with some other evil forces. Oh, shut up. I don't want to hear your lying tongue wobbling in vain. It's us who should ask the questions. Thea, maybe you're too strict with her? I mean, what I wanted to say is, you can't judge something just because it looks like a villain, can you? What if she really didn't? Ellie! Thea, Ellie? Are you gals really elves? I thought you were supposed to have, like, really long names. Of course we're real. Don't you see the ears? A good elf is judged by her ears, and short names are just monikers. Thea is actually Theaniel, and you will go and gather kindling while I'm interrogating the prisoner. I see I still need to file a report. Okay, I'm gone. But please don't file a report on me. Kindling? What for? Are you gonna burn me alive? Burn you? Thea suddenly burst into a heartfelt laugh. Or heartfelt, maybe? Her laughter turned out to be surprisingly pleasant, bright and alluring. So that's what you think. We tie you at a stake, gather a huge bonfire, ignite it, your bonds burn it off, and you run away faster than we can say damn it. That was your plan, right? Don't count on it. We know that half of your kind is immune to fire, and the other half has skin tougher than stone. Besides, we're not savages, unlike your kind. You will be delivered to the ritual trial of elders in the high forest, where your cause will be thoroughly reviewed before you are promptly beheaded. No matter how I want to enact justice with my own hands, the law is the law. kind of justice is it if you're screwed anyway? But still, I exhaled with relief. Of course, half the demons are immune to fire, and another one has skin tougher than stone, but I'm stuck somewhere between those two. Well, not exactly between. I mean, I got neither of those gifts. At least I'm good at knitting. Why are you so angry? If flowers are not the problem, I really don't know what I did to deserve such treatment. I mean, I surely didn't do anything wrong. It's not necessary to lop my head off, you know. That's for the court to decide. You say you don't know what happens to the forest dwellers? Maybe you mean you don't have anything to do with it. Ha! I have no idea what's happening to you here. I entered the forest, got lost, found a field of poppies, then you found me. That's it, end of story. Besides, I can say that you don't look half bad. Like, I usually like thicker girls, but you're fine too. If not for your bloodlust, I'd say you're alright. Maybe I could even call you on a date. What? Stop bullshitting me. Whatever you please, but you asked this for yourself. Maybe you should drink some thyme infusion? I got an acquaintance that time to get through this farce with this farce. Who are you and why were you sent here? This is bad. This is really bad. I should have guessed that it would come to this. Naturally, interrogation implies being asked awkward questions, maybe even getting hurt. I probably should have thought about what to say beforehand. What should I do? Well, what we should do is save it, my friend. And then we need to look at the guide. Okay, we need to make something up. To be fair, actually, I don't know it myself. I don't remember, you see? There was wonderful poppies, and that's pretty much everything I remember clearly. But let's not be discouraged. I believe if I just see a pair of naked silence! What's that sound? I also heard something. Leaves rustling nearby. Maybe a couple of minutes away from us. It seemed to be something very big, moving very fast. What's this, an ambush? How many of you are there? Tell me! I can barely feel magic, but even my humble power is enough to sense an aura of another demon. And that thing, whatever it was, it has nothing to do with us. It's certainly not a demon. Come on, untie me. Not a chance. If it's an ambush, you'll die first. If you don't set me free, we're both... The shrub in front of us crackled, another green barrier gave in, and a strange creature stumbled into the clearing. The body was brown, moldy, and ridden with insects like an old gnarl. And the smell. It felt as if I got a mouthful of swamp ooze. Oh, wait a minute. Thea, look! Ellie? What? There could be no mistake. It was really an old swamp snag. A huge one at that, and Ellie was holding it. Her face, a bit smudged with silt, but happy, showed from behind her weird burden. What's the meaning of this? Well, we need to make a campfire. Look at how much wood I brought. It will last a bunch of time, so I thought, gonna have to censor that. Anyway... I mean, a little bit, like, not all of it, but I'm gonna have to censor some of it. A couple of clumsy staggerers and a snag fall on the ground together with the elf girl. Ellie stretched prone on the ground among a mess of wet splinters that the snag had turned into. That's right, Ellie, we need to make a campfire, but you know what's the least fitting fuel for a fire? It's soggy, rotten lumber, especially with all these molds and centipedes. Oh, ancient ancestors, can't you do anything right? Thea measured Ellie with a cold, disappointed stare and made a couple of steps towards her. For a moment, I thought she was gonna help her partner up, but she just stepped over Ellie. Well, what are you gonna do? It's getting dark, and we don't have time for another one of your stupid acts. Besides, it was dumb of me to send you alone while the forest is so dangerous. I'll go get the kindling myself. You stay here and try not to put your eye out with the mushroom. And for Guardian's honor, look after the prisoner. I tied her up well, but demons are sneaky bastards. Don't answer her requests, and better just don't talk to her at all. You get it? Hey, I'm still here, you know. You can't just badmouth someone right to their face. You hurt my feelings. I guess it would be best if you just gag her. You can manage this at least, I hope. And for goodness sake, quit lolling around without purpose. What's that pathetic look? You've rested enough. Get back to your duty as a guardian while you still have it. Right. Jesus. I'm happy I tied her up the first time. She's mean. When Ellie was standing up from the ground, I think I saw tears sparkle in her eyes. One look at Ellie's drooping shoulders was enough to see how upset she was. Poor thing. I felt sorry for her, even despite her having no horns and no tail. And Elf Girl somehow tidied herself up and started looking around. She probably decided what to use as a gag. No, no, and no. I couldn't afford to be silenced. How would I get out of this case? In that case. It's not good. In the meantime, Ellie took out a small handkerchief, crumpled it in her hand, and approached me. She had a very embarrassed but determined look. Wait. Hey, don't shove this thing into me. Sorry, demon lady. Name's Lucy. Sorry, Lucy, but I've got no choice. I really have to do it. Did you hear what Thea said? Orders are not to be discussed. A handkerchief came closer to my face, and now I could see even better that it was smeared with ooze. Would it have been better if Ellie wouldn't touch it with her hands? It's all covered in slime, ew! Listen, I'm sure we could come to an agreement. How about we make a small deal? A deal? I don't even know, it doesn't seem like a good idea. Thea will be mad if something goes wrong again. Thea was talking about requests, but a deal is a completely different thing. If you answer a request, you're making a favor and don't get anything in return. Maybe gratitude, but that's about all. Gratitude won't keep you warm and light up your camp at night. Dusk is creeping in and we need a fire, right? Right. I can help you make a bonfire if you untie me. I promise not to run away. You're trying to deceive me, right? No way, how could I? I sincerely want to help and stop hanging upside down. My poor little horns are numb already. But what if you are an enemy spy? A spy? Seriously? Pfft. Just look at me now. With all those rope marks, I resemble smoked salami more than anything. Well, yeah, perhaps you're right. So, what about my offer? Okay, it's a deal, but keep in mind that I have to keep an eye on you. Ellie got a small knife. Well, that was easy. Ellie got a small knife from her belt and with a couple of precise movements, cut my bonds. Freedom at last. Well, you can almost call it freedom. Let's go. All right, we have to check the guide. Okay, we're gathering kindling. We're not trying to run for it. Since Ellie treated me kindly, I decided to at least make a campfire if she needs it so badly. Slipping away could be done later. True. I mean, maybe. I feel sorry for poor Ellie though, so I'm not against sticking around. We found a whole lot of sticks around the camp. They were not exactly dry, but that was easy to fix. I blew at my palms and started rubbing them quickly. What are you doing? Drying up the kindling. Have a look. I quickly extended my hands in front of me so that the sticks were directly underneath them. My hands flashed red for a moment like hot coals and a bale of twigs started steaming. It works. I tell you, it's gotta be a first-class bonfire, masterwork quality. Wow, I didn't know it could be done like this. Actually, I'm not sure elves can do it too, but you could try. Ellie attempted to repeat my trick and then curiously stared at her hands. It feels hot, but I don't think I could dry something up. It's just the beginning, watch this. I clicked my fingers, and the same moment, a tiny red-orange spark sprung from my palm. It was enough to light a... Oh, look at that. Bonfire lit. Let's go, Dark Souls. It was enough to light a merry plume of flame atop the dry twigs. Ah! Ellie jumped away from the bonfire like I cast a whole fireball or something. Pfft. Hey, what's the matter? It's just a spark. Security warranted by world-famous combustion specialist Lucia Fair. Ellie shuddered and silently nodded. What's wrong with her? What use is a fire if you run from it? Maybe I should just put it down? No, please don't. I'm fine. It's just searching for a good log. Huh? A log? Good for what? Ellie disappeared in the gap between the trees, and from the crackle of the branches I gleaned that she's been dragging something again. Not sure what amazes me more, your strength or your love for logs. Ellie carefully put her new log at the campfire. Its size was not as impressive as the first one's, but even so, it made a decent bench. We both sat at the fire, although Ellie settled a bit further away. Now that my part of the deal was done, I had some time to think about the other stuff. Oh shit, let's go. Alright, save it. Okay, we're asking about Laura. There's the option here. While I was still out, I think I heard a name. Laura, was it? Who's that? I'm not sure I should tell you. You shouldn't have untied me in the first place. Did something bad come of it? Not yet, but see? Some taboos are absolutely stupid. If Thea thinks that I'm somehow tied to this Lara, isn't it fair to tell me a bit more? Well, fine. Lara, Alanariel is a keeper of this forest. Former keeper. She disappeared. I wasn't sure yet when it happened, so I don't know much. Thea tried to find some trace, but all in vain. Without its keeper, the forest starts changing. Remember that poppy field? Thea said it's a trap. For idiots. Yep, I remember it perfectly well. The field wasn't always like that. Actually, it's one of the gardens of our princess, but now it's abandoned. There's something wrong with those poppies. They lull everyone who stays in the garden long enough. Most don't ever wake up. Wait a second, you mean I could've? Yep. Honestly, at first I thought you wouldn't wake up too. Thea gave you an antidote, but... Thea gave me an antidote? I thought she hated me. Maybe, maybe not. I can't ever tell what she's thinking about. Anyway, you're very lucky. Even that antidote doesn't always help. Maybe it's because you're a demon. And do you know anything about the endless bushes? Well, maybe not completely endless since I somehow got out, but I'm still sure that there was something wrong with those bushes. Endless bushes? Well, guess I never heard of those. Well, Thea says that without a keeper, such things will appear. The forest is seeping with magic, and if it's not channeled, bad things happen. Interesting. We have to check the guide. Okay, bonfire. You were so worried about the fire. Why is it so important that it burns? In the past, we would consider it blasphemous to think of it a campfire in our forest, but now some forest dwellers become different. We call them the Hollow Ones. I don't know what that hollow which tortures them is, but it makes them do terrible things. All they seek is destruction. We understood that fire scares them away, so now we light the bonfires at dusk. That's why we try to save what still remains. Just like this? I think I understand now. Wait a second. No, I don't. Why did you decide that demons are involved in creating these Hollow Ones? Well, we first heard about the Hollow Ones right after we learned about demon invasion from the Netherrealm. Many have concluded that these two events must be connected. You know what? As one great thinker once said, correlation doesn't equal causation. They say that this thinker drank the whole wine cellar and fell out of the top window in a very tall tower. Yet that happened not because he was drunk, but because the cellar's furious owner found him and gave him a nice kick in the ass. You see how easy it is to mistake cause and effect? This is why you shouldn't hastily jump to conclusions. And of course it's wrong to blame someone just because they have horns. I think her horns are sexy. Why not suspect cows then? I never heard about cow invaders or cow dark mages. And what then? Maybe it's because they off the witnesses? Or maybe, but the demons and the Hollow Ones that appeared at the same time. This is still very suspicious. It looks like you and them have the same origin. What do you mean the same origin? I'm offended. Do I look like one of those Hollow Ones in your eyes? At this moment, my stomach bellowed a mating call of a black dragon. Maybe. Okay, maybe right now I'm a bit hollow inside. Resisting magic invokes wild appetite, you know, but it doesn't prove anything. After 1 or 2 pies, I'll be in a perfect condition again. Frankly, I don't believe we would be able to find a pie in the forest at this hour. There's a whole grove of magical pie trees nearby. What? Pie trees? And you were silent this whole time? But now they've spoiled and produce only over-salted pies with boiled onions. Don't know if they'll ever go back to how they were with the keeper without the keeper around. She was probably swearing at her. We must end this madness. Boiled onions? What dark sorcery is this? Whoever is the sadist who turned the pie grove must be stopped. That would be great. Alas, I cannot imagine who might be behind this. We were sure the demons were to blame for what happened to our forest. The elders were sure at least, but if you really don't know anything about what's happening here, our only lead is faulty. Of course, I'm glad that we were no longer mortal enemies in this case, but on the other hand, my stomach made another hearkening wail. At least I know you do what to do with your hunger. We were about to gather some berries for dinner, but we found you and completely forgot about the food. Thankfully, I have something special in store. Wait a minute. Ellie rummaged through her stuff and pulled out a small roll of fresh leaves bound by a colorful thread. Well, of course I heard rumors that the elves eat weird stuff, but this was too much for me. I must warn you, I'm a peaceful demon, but if you're planning to feed me leaves, I would be forced to fight till I fall dead. Ellie doesn't seem to listen. She pulled the knot on the thread, and to my relief, something more edible showed up from under the leaves. Let's go. Besides, someone's loving hands carefully shaped it into a tiny bunny. Oh, wow. It's adorable. What's this thing? Ellie broke the treat in 2 equal halves and gave one to me. She had a very solemn look on her face. This is an ancient elven meal, the lem bun. We make it the same way as our legendary ancestors thousands of years ago. Every clan has its own recipe that is passed from parents to children. This lem bun I made myself. With a yon gift and memory of my family, I prove that you are not my enemy. Let this lem bun become the first step towards peace between our peoples. Keep it and use it wisely. Then you'll be sated whatever winds of fate bring you. 1 small piece is enough to— Hey, wait! Stop! Don't stuff it in your mouth and whole. 1 piece is enough to be fed for a month. What's this? Cinnamon? It's not a cookie, get it? Extremely tasty. The lem bun's recipe is an elven secret. Why is it a secret? It reminds me of something between sweetbread and cookies. Think of soft gingerbread as the closest comparison. I definitely tasted dates, cinnamon, honey, saffron. Such disrespect towards elven culture. Oh, come on, I just listed the spices. Insult to the ancestors. Who can be insulted by spices? Last time I checked, cardamom wasn't a swear word. Okay, I'm sorry. Honestly, I forgot what this lemon tasted like. Just silent. Are you gonna eat the other half? Ellie looked very outraged, but still handed me the other half of the sacred, mysterious cookie. I gratefully nodded and immediately started chewing. Who would have thought that elves keep their cuisine in such secrecy? These leaf ears are still really strange. What if it's actually improper to discuss cardamom while with unmarried elven maidens? Now that was awkward, but I'm still at fault with my taste receptors are so sensitive. I'm not at fault, I imagine, is what she said. Do you by chance have some more? What? What do you mean, what? You can't still be hungry, can you? Of course I can. If I were full, I wouldn't ask for seconds. But as far as I know, after eating the whole lamb bun, you must have stayed sated for at least a year. Then I'm extremely lucky. A year without desserts. Yikes. So how about seconds? Ellie shook her head in confusion. This was all I had in stock. I can make some more, but no earlier than the next full moon. Such a long wait. I didn't even think that baking cookies. I mean, baking lemon buns could be so complicated. Anyway, thank you for sharing. That was super yummy. Seems like I'm a fan of elven cuisine now, and you're a great cook. Thanks. I put on a lot of effort. That was my stash for a special occasion. Well, our meeting is as special as can be. This is not, yes, of course. Did I say something wrong? No, it's fine. I was just lost in thought. Very glad you enjoyed your supper. I definitely said something wrong. But what? Probably I won't ever find out. I thought I'd be better to change the subject for good. Yes, I actually already glanced this one. I'm almost positive I'm supposed to ask her name. Yes, I'm supposed to ask her full name. So, you said Thea's full name is Thiel? Or something like that? And what about you? You haven't mentioned it. Oh my god. Evanalen, maybe? Evanalen? It means light of a distant star. And Thiel means dark space between the stars. Really? To tell you the truth, I don't think this name fits Thea. What do you mean, huge stick up your ass? How do you say huge stick up your ass in Elven? You know, I can change my decisions regarding the gag. Thea might be a bit straightforward, but she's a great guardian. If only I could be so composed. From my standpoint, she's composed of crap and lashing out at those around her. Might have gone easy on you, even I see you're doing your best. You don't get it. I actually don't live up to my duty as a guardian. I'm skilled with my weapon, but Thea thinks it's not enough. I know she's right, but being a guardian is so hard. Much harder than I would have thought. Is that so? What can be more important for a guardian than prowess in battle? You need to always stay vigilant, ready for anything at any moment. If you're not ready, you lose. Thea keeps saying it over and over. She was the guardian of this forest even before I was born. I believe she knows what she's talking about. No matter how experienced she is, I can't believe that you think she treats you right. Thea lost someone whom she must have protected. I realize why Thea asked for so much from me. If she was not able to fulfill her duty, what good am I? I always have my head in the clouds. I know I already saw this one too. You're supposed to say you feel sorry for Ellie, but I'll double check. Yes, okay. I noticed that you were really upset about the snag. I hope you feel better now. The only one who doesn't make mistakes is one who never tried anything, you know? Besides, it's a miracle that you were able to bear such a humongous thing on your own. You must be really strong. It's fine. I know I failed miserably. I completely forgot that you need dry logs to make fire. How's that? I thought elves know the forest really well and are skilled in, well, wilderness survival. Survival? You don't need to survive in the forest, it's our home. We know everything about it, and besides, we hear its song. You just need to ask where to find what you need. Food, water, warm shelter, anything. The answer will surely be in the song, you just need to listen. Oh, badness. This forest can sing? Of course. Any forest can sing, and each has its own song. Could have determined which one I'm in with my eyes closed. But why don't I hear anything? It's because you don't know how to listen properly. Or maybe because you're not of elven kin? To be honest, I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I might sing for you if you want. Sing for me? Yeah, I hear the forest song perfectly well. I hear the forest song perfectly well. It should be easy to repeat it. Besides, I used to be a bard before the war, traveling town to town and singing about things I witnessed on my way. A bard? I thought you can't become a bard if you, stutter? No, sorry, forget it. It was a dumb question. It's nothing, I understand. It can really seem strange. Thing is, when I sing, I can just let the music flow through my soul, like a river. Rivers don't stutter, right? Water flows freely, wherever it wants. When I sing, my voice is free too. So how about it? Do you want to hear how the forest sings? Sure. The only problem is I don't have my lute. I had to leave it at home in the forest far, far away. So you have to imagine that I have a lute, otherwise magic won't work. Imagination is my most plentiful resource. Go for it. Ellie nodded and positioned her hands upon an invisible instrument. At first, this sight seemed funny to me, but Ellie was carrying out her tiny act so skillfully that I couldn't look away. Aw, dude, that's so adorable. It was easy to believe that her slender fingers were really stroking invisible strings. I even imagined the sound they slided up and down the grip. Ellie closed her eyes, completely carried away by the music only she could hear. When did she start singing? I didn't know, but it was as natural as plumes of fire or light of the stars that started blazing above us. Ellie's song rang in the air around me, and every tone was like a butterfly gently touching my skin. Among the fiery sparkles and dancing spots of light, I saw my happy moments flashing, my fondest memories. Those I dearly kept in my heart, and those that faded were almost forgotten. Now they were shining again, like colorful pieces of glass in the light. A whole sea of shiny marbles. That's so sweet, dude. Aw, that's so cute. This is so beautiful. You think so? I'm glad you like it, though I liked the previous song much more. I miss it. Lately, the forest sounds differently. It's sad. Or worse, sometimes it doesn't respond at all. I ask questions once and again, call it, and it's almost as if the forest is empty. I'm afraid its song might go silent forever. Ellie finished singing, but the melody still rang in my head. Maybe it was really singing, though? Ellie, I think I can hear it. The song of the forest. Oh? Impressive. Turns out you are a gifted student. Yeah, but I still can't figure out where the song says about food. Hearing the song of the forest and understanding it is not the same. But since you learn so quickly, maybe in just a couple of 100 years, you'll be able to discern the main concepts. It's really not that hard. Couple 100 years? Wait, this means how old? How old are you then? Well, just recently turned 400. Actually, I'm 399, but don't tell anyone, okay? You can't become a guardian before you turn 400, but so I'm also a criminal in some sense. We could be both hanging on a branch awaiting the court. I only see one crime here. You spend your youth on duty and not on dates. Why in heaven did you decide to serve? You think I'm not fit for the job? Hauling snags is not my specialty, but you should see me with a spear. I wanted to be useful, so I trained extensively to deserve my position as a guardian. I'll never be the very best, but now I'm doing something for the sake of others. I just can't be happy if I'm doing something useless for my own enjoyment when terrible things happen all over the kingdom because of the war. But your songs, they're useful. Someone still needs to be reminded about the beautiful things and how fragile they are. Let's take ice cream for example. Many times have I tried to bring it into my world, but it's too hot there. It's always melted in my hands, and I was only left to watch. It's horrible to watch how things that you love disappear on your own fault, even if it's just one serving. And what if someone could destroy all the ice cream? It would be a disaster. The point is that what point is there to fight if in the end you'll ruin what you love the most? It happens at war all the time. This is why I think that your lute is no less valuable than your spear. Honestly, it's even much better. Your songs remind people, elves and demons and fairies, overlords, horns, this world is overpopulated. Anyway, they remind of the most important stuff, of what you want to preserve the most. It's a very significant mission. Really, I'm happy that you think that way, but I'm afraid there's still not much I can do. My lute, it burned down, as did my forest. They say some kind of evil forces were hiding in my forest, so the archangels brought down a hail of holy fire to smoke them out. Trees don't care if the fire is holy or not, so now I'm left without a home and without a lute. Eventually, my forest will grow again. Trees grow fast, give them a couple 100 years, and with good watering, it'll be almost like the old times, if no one sets it on fire again. Even talking about such sad things, Ellie keeps smiling. But her smile, why? Why did I feel so sad when I saw it? Nah, I'm just being silly. I quickly turned my face away to the bonfire. The red-orange plume still burned bright and hot. Exactly like back home in the Nether Realm. Back home. I suddenly thought about the Dark Elves that we had banished. They must also miss their home. Huh? Are you okay? Oh, look at that. Okay, so I did look, here's a big crossroads here. Is a big crossroads. So, on one hand, there is, so technically the achievement, quote-unquote, part of the guide that I'm on is for a bad ending. And if you want that ending, what you have to do right here is deny everything. And then there's kind of a list, a longer list to get down where it just says bad end is that one that I'm on. There's a couple of others. There's like 2 or 3 other split decisions later on that line of bad ending that you do that like slightly like changes. It seems like the endings that you get is but several of them are all labeled evil, like, but I don't know what that's referring to. Is that like an evil ending, or is that just for an achievement, or is that for specific CG art? I don't know. but they do change. But there's one ending that's much longer than the rest of them, and it's not labeled bad end. And so I think that one must be the good ending because it's much longer and much more involved than anything else. So if you want that one, at this point you need to tell Ellie about your feelings. And then there's a long laundry list of other things to do. And so we're probably just gonna go right for the longer one, the real good one. That's probably basically what we are going to be going for, but I think we will save it for next time. Maybe next part we can actually polish this off. It was a scotch longer than I expected, but I mean, honestly, I mean, if you did I don't know, if you use the guide right out the gate, of course you could do it faster, but the goal is not to do it as fast as possible. The goal is to just play it and have fun. So and so I've been enjoying this. This has been a really good visual novel. They're just like the characters' designs are super cool. Like the dialogue's often very funny, and it does have some more serious moments. Like so far, this little arc that we've been in for a while has been much more serious, and it's very interesting, very interesting. So I hope you guys are enjoying, and probably next part, hopefully will be the part that we polish it all off. Probably won't worry about doing all the doing other things. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm mixed feelings. Some part of me wants to just go for the good ending, and I don't know if it's I don't even know if it's the good ending. It's just it's the longest ending, according to the steps you need to do to get it. So depending on how that one feels, I might decide that no, let's go for some of these other ones. I might decide that let's not. Like I'm happy with what we did. I don't know. So we'll see. I'll play it by ear. So maybe next part we finish it either way. And if not, then maybe next part we get one of the endings, one of the major ones, and maybe we keep going. Maybe I keep going and just get other endings just to see what some of the other ones are. So we'll have to see how that all pans out. But either way, I am having fun. This is very cool. So anyway, that is going to call for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today. And we will talk to you guys later. Oh, did I just collateral that guy? Yeet. There, you go first. He's like, I think it's clear, man. You're good. As the great Bob Ross would say, what a happy accident. Later, idiots. I could hear Darth Vader in my head. I have you now. Walk it off, bro. You're okay. It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up. That was so perfect.